I would never title this fucking video, you know, what makes Octung Baby great? It's one of those things. Every once in a while, you just feel like doing a video, and every once in a while, you just feel like wearing something other than a black t-shirt. Spring is coming, although it's supposed to rain. Anyway, regardless of all that, what am I in the mood to talk about right now? I'll tell you what immediately comes to mind was probably the reason why I turned on the camera is the previous video I spoke a lot about, about mixing, about recording, mixing, some of that nonsense. Now, for some of you, it's not nonsense, and I get it. I get it that that's what I'm known for and all that. But I just want to be clear that in no way, shape, or form is this channel ever going to be dominated by gear talk and tech talk and how-to and how I record vocals and how I mix this and how I record that and how I EQ this or that. I mean, kill me now if that's what you think that's going to be going on here, because it's definitely not. One of the ideas I had to talk about was, and this is sort of a response to something I talked about a while ago with the pontificators that are on YouTube, and these, I don't know if they've been sort of like ascended to the throne of being authorities or proclaimed authorities on music and on quality of songs and quality of music and what makes a great song and what makes this song great and what makes this so-and-so great, or you particularly this whole what makes this song great bullshit that's out there. And I don't need to mention who the names are. If you are familiar with who does these type of things and it's something that you're into, then, you know, have at it. But I don't really, those things should be with a giant caveat of like, you know, what makes this song great? Well, in my opinion, this is what makes this song great. And then if they were to actually give you some background on where their opinion is coming from, that might be somewhat interesting. But some guy or female telling me what makes a song great based on the fact that it's a complicated chord structure or complicated melody, not a great thing in my opinion. So I'd like to know what your top 10 songs are, top 10 albums are, even if you went from desert island tracks. I mean, desert island tracks, desert island albums, what you would consider stuff that you couldn't live without music-wise, and even books. What am I reading today? I've been reading this Hunter S. Thompson Fear and Loathing book. It's a highly recommended book in a lot of circles, and so I finally got around to tearing into it a little bit, and it's interesting if you want to hear about, or if you want to read about a couple of guys going completely off the rails on drugs and alcohol and roaming around Las Vegas trying to work and not work and stay alive and not get arrested. I digress. So back to the music concept. For instance, I'll just talk about one today. One particular thing for me that's important for me is, and I don't know why it came to mind. It was probably a conversation I had earlier in the weekend. Octung Baby by U2, the album, is their masterpiece for me. And to me, it was a signaling of when it was probably the last record, in my opinion, that they made where they weren't trying to have hits. There was no blatant sonic or melodic or structural technique used to go for what was certainly wasn't going for what was current. This album was made in 91, I believe, so it's about 30 years old. And to me, since then, U2 has fallen off. I think it was their third or fourth record. I'm not a giant like historian as far as all that stuff goes, but it's the third or fourth record. They had the huge success of Joshua Tree, and probably were at the crossroads in a lot of ways as far as thinking, what's next? Do we make our Born in the USA or our Thriller, or do we dig deeper and try and find a way to stay cool? I think they found that way with Achtung Baby. I could still listen to that record today. Now, does it make it great? To me, it makes it great. I would never title this fucking video, what makes Achtung Baby great? Unless I said why I think Achtung Baby is great. So if you want to go dig around a little bit and find those characters that do all these reaction concepts and clickbaity kind of things where they look for ways to keep an audience or build an audience, then have at it.